Hey everybody, thanks for joining back to another episode of the Grow with Ruben podcast, where we like to meet with entrepreneurs, fighters, everyday people that just go out there and get it. I strongly believe that, just having these conversations, they drop little hints and nuggets and tips out there without even trying. So this episode is also sponsored by City Insight Houston. You're trying to rent a space, buy a house, sell your home, City Insight Houston. And today I am with the TMF first Fury champion of TMF. Sorry, I said that wrong. Shaquem Richardson. How you doing, man?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up, brother? How you been?
Been pretty good, man.
Good,
steady, growing, getting fat. So, the complete opposite of what you're doing.
That good fat, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're eating good.
I need to get a little healthier, though.
Yeah.
It's, man, it's, aging, getting fat, and I'm not doing anything about it, to be honest with you. I'm just working.
Mm-hmm.
My body is, I wouldn't be able to take a shin kick right now. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it.
I mean,
so conditioning, right?
Yeah,
so,
you got to get right back to it. Take a couple of them. It'll be a little hard. Then you'll start getting conditioned to it.
Yeah, man. So. I'm motivated by your last fight, man. That was an amazing fight. We watched it. It was a few of us here from the office. It was a crazy first round. And I won't say too much. I want to give it away. I don't know what the rights are where, it's like, hey, Fury has the rights to the fight clip, but I saw it.
Yeah, I wouldn't understand if we had it recorded or not, like playing in here or something.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can talk about it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. So walk me through that first round.
So the game plan pretty much for us, for me and my coaches, what we came up with, we knew, first off, it was a rematch, so we kind of knew what he was going to come up with, or just off of his style, was a lot of pressure. He's a big boxer, heavy boxing guy, so he's going to come in heavy with the hands.
Yeah.
So I had to just kind of be patient, let him come to me. So I stayed long, let him come to me, and I knew the shots was going to be there. Either he's going to run into the shots, but I didn't want to force it. So I it was a 5-round fight, so I was like, I have to conserve.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So I had to conserve myself, but we knew he was going to come throw himself out, and then eventually the tides were going to turn.
Yeah.
But we knew those shots was going to be there to find the opening. So pretty much the first 2 minutes, he was chasing me around a little bit, throwing shots, and then I landed a big right hand.
Yep.
I heard him.
Clean.
Yeah, I dropped him, and I knew he was tough. That's one thing about him. He's tough. He gets rocked in fights, but he's tough. He knows how to recover quick. So, he weathered that storm. We finished the round out. Second round comes. He actually got me in a little trouble because he had punched me in my eyeball. Like it's like, it sounds weird when I say it, but like, of course, getting punched in the eye is one thing, but he punched me in the eyeball. So it was like, So my vision went out for like a couple seconds. So I had to kind of like, just stay composed and weather the storm. Yeah. And I don't know why, but he decided to take me down, and I knew he was tired. So
this is the second round now, right?
This is the second round, So he took me down. I know for sure he was a little tired, so he took me down as being tired. Yeah. And I was just stayed composed, and I wrapped him up with a triangle, and that was it.
Clean.
That's the best way to do it, man. Yeah. Get in there, get out. You know what I mean?
And you got to rank higher in your jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. So I received my 3rd stripe and my purple belt. Man. And he was actually a brown belt, so he's a belt higher than me. That's what kind of, once you, especially going in the cage and getting a submission like that, especially with the higher belt, of course.
They're not expected to get punched in the face, though.
Nah, yeah. It's not like a little jiu-jitsu tournament, but
So
this is some real stuff going on.
Man, that's crazy. So how did we even get here? Because the Shaquem I knew, childhood friends, right? I was good friends with Shanika.
Yeah.
How is she?
Yeah. She's good. She's good. Yeah, man. She's always doing her thing.
That's awesome.
She works at a school now, so
That's
she's
great.
Loving that. She's always been a big teacher.
Yeah.
So, she's good. Yeah,
So the
family's
good.
Everybody's good. Yeah, man. Can't complain at all.
hey, if you guys see this, I say hi.
I'm gonna send it to him.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, I saw that you started training a while back, and kind of what led you into more of just like, all right, I'm gonna take this serious.
Man, I don't know. Okay, so I try to keep it as quick as possible, as simple as possible. Yeah. I started out, I remember I was in college, just my first year, second year in college, and I was like every other kind of college kid, still trying to figure it out, everybody tell you to go to college, you know, straight out of high school. So that's what I did. I went to U of H downtown. Mm-hmm. I was in school, but I just knew like this wasn't for me.
Right.
So I was always trying to figure out something. And then that's when I went on my YouTube dive. So I started to like look at motivational videos and you know what I mean? And that was like, it was the craziest thing because it was like these videos are like talking to me, you know what I mean? So I would just deep dive on like following people's careers from the bottom up and all that stuff. So I would be in school, literally in class, watching these videos. Like, man.
But what kind of motivation videos are just fighting or just like?
Just this is just when I was trying to figure myself out. Like,
got it.
You know what I mean? It almost like was a calling, like I had a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
You know, so I was just watching anything, Will Smith, anybody, and I would just get motivated from it. And so I knew about UFC and MMA, you know what I mean? But I started really watching like The Ultimate Fighter and stuff like that. And I was like, this is cool. Me and my pops was always into martial arts and stuff like that. And I remember a long time ago, he took me to a Taekwondo gym, but we never signed up, you know? So we just so I just was like, man, you can learn this stuff and you go out there and fight, you know, it's like, that was like the next big thing from like watching The Matrix or something. You seeing like karate, kicking, you know what I mean? So it's like, when I seen that, I was like, this is it. So I remember I was like, man, I'm gonna go sign up to a gym. And you trained there was Macaco's, literally right down the street from it. Yeah. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go in there. Literally, I got scared. Whole year went by. Yeah. I never went. So I did another year of school, and I was just like, so one day I went with my brother, and I was like, man, I'm gonna sign up. He's like, all right, cool.
Did he sign up too?
No, he didn't sign up. But he was just telling me like, just do it. So I went ahead and signed up, and I knew from then on, I was like, I'm going to fight. I went in there, I told him I was going to fight. So that was my goal from the first day I signed up, that I was going to fight. So started out doing jiu-jitsu classes and did some Muay Thai classes. And I just was head forward, man. I just couldn't stop, you know what I mean? Because I knew what I wanted.
Good drive.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man.
Determining, like just telling yourself, like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. That I feel like that's a very strong way to even getting started, right? Like, same thing with me. When I started listening to motivational videos, just random, I have like a collection of like I don't know how many hours of just like motivational videos until the point where I was like, all right, I can't even listen to these anymore. I don't even need the motivation. I know it's just something that I need to do.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So you kind of, go past that level.
Yeah.
But yeah, with fighting though, like, that's an extreme sport, and to want to do it for, as a career, that's another. That's just another notch up there, right?
I tell people all the time, man, it's like, a lot of people tell me about training. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and train. Or they'll be like, man, I want to fight.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, it takes a lot, man. It does. You know what I'm saying? It really takes a lot to, you don't realize how hard it is until you actually go do it. And then majority of the time when people say it's 90% mental, it really is 90%. It really is 90% mental.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I guess once you get over the fear, or if you have a fear of getting hit or anything, you know what I mean? That's one thing. But to go out there and do all the stuff that you learned in the gym, it's all mental. Yeah. It's all mental, man.
So I see that there's like a difference in the degree of like type of fighters. I won't say like, UFC fighters or anything like that, but from just the average person training to a person that's actually like fighting, not just like a first amateur fight, but fighting pro or something like that. I feel that like one thing that newer fighters should know, and you let me know, because I didn't get there. I couldn't do it, right? So you take direction from your coaches, right? Like so basically you can be in a situation where like, I don't know about this, but your coach is like, throw that 1-2, throw that 1-2.
Yeah.
And you're flowing, right? Like back and forth like a chess game. And I feel that, with people that are just starting out, it's more of like, don't get hit.
Yeah.
All right, I know this works, here and there. So is that how it is? Are you more, do you space out? Are you like tunnel vision? You just connected with your coach, they're telling you, or how does process this?
I mean, besides game planning with your coaches, being in the cage is the experience. I mean, that's what everybody tells you, the experience. I don't know if you ever watch like amateurs. If you see amateurs, they're guns blazing. They're literally wild. They're throwing first minute of the first round, they're tired. You know what I mean? They have a big adrenaline dump. I went through it when I was an amateur, Now as a pro, I can literally be as calm and relaxed, especially this fight. This fight was where I was like, sometimes I'll have the anticipation, I'll get the little nerves before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this fight, I walked in that cage, lights was beaming on me. I mean, this is probably my biggest fight of my career.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was just relaxed. I was comfortable, man. And I think that's the difference. Once you learn that, you know what I mean, to learn to be like calm in that atmosphere. You can go out there and go, you do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Right. And just let it, just be water. You know what I mean? Because I've been to the point where I've been through everything in the cage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I started telling my wife, I was like, man, there's really nothing that he can put me through that I haven't been through.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've been rocked before. Guys been on top of me. I'm dead tired. I've been in a war. You know what I mean? So if I get there in those positions, all right, well, that's what it is. You know, we're going to have to handle it when we're there. Yeah. But, like most amateurs, they don't know that. So it's almost like, that's why that's why you have to kind of go through these experiences, because you never know what you're going to go through. And it's like, you'll see a lot of guys undefeated. Yeah. They'll wipe through their whole amateur career. Then they go pro, they face that adversity, and they don't know what to do. Right. Through those times. So you have to get those experiences in. And one thing, if you do go through some adversity, go through experiences, you can't stop. Right. Because it's all learning. Like you have to still believe in your skills. To know, no matter if it's the worst night or that you have the best night, you still have to learn from everything, man. That's all I tell all the amateurs, man. Yeah? Yeah. I tell all the amateurs that, man. Just learn from it. Like, have a learning mindset when you're in the gym. Yeah. When you're in the cage, outside, you're like everywhere. Just have a learning mindset, because that's going to help you. So learning mindset, you're saying more of in a situation where somebody's trying to train amateur, or even just training to get better. Yeah. You're saying opposed to, instead of having that training mindset, is more of like getting in there and getting aggressive, not learning anything, kind of just being like, pissed off about it. Well, it just being open to where it's just jotting down, or like how I felt that round, or you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what was my nerves before? You know what I mean? Or just always just processing it, because that's how this game works. Like for me, I always call it like a destroy and rebuild type of thing, because you go through an experience and you think back on it and you be like, okay, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? How did I feel right here? Yep. You know what I mean? And then you just kind of got to break down that whole experience and then rebuild that. You know what I mean? You see your weak points, see where and then form it all back together. Yeah. And you ready to go for the next one.
So, that kind of just restructuring kind of where that experience. So that's awesome, man. The way that you kind of replay that. Some people are just gun blazing. Oh, maybe I should throw more punches, next time.
I mean, it's just because you're gonna go out there and do what you do best. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's how the game works.
Are you having fun in there?
Yes. Okay. I was actually talking to dude I was in there, but
what kind of things?
I would just kind of like I'll smile at them or like I have little phrases I'll say or just say little things. I do it a lot in my fights. Yeah. Like I'll say something to them.
That's to like psych people out.
Yeah, I mean just to know that I'm relaxed. Yeah. Are you relaxed? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But some people be so tight, so tense in there, man. You can't be so tense. Man.
Yeah, you can't, man. Rashard Evans once told me, have fun in there.
Yeah.
I wasn't having fun.
Yeah. You like, what? How can I have fun and somebody's trying to knock my block off?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's always the funniest thing, though. Sometimes it's like, I'll go in there and be like relaxed, and then the guy throw a punch at me, and I'll look at his face, and I'll be like, oh, you really trying to kill me? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, let me get back on my P's and Q's. I can't be too relaxed with you. Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, man.
So who's been guiding you throughout this whole entire journey?
Man, I mean, I've had so many. I wouldn't say I had so many different coaches, but I picked something from everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My main coach, Jeremy Mahon, he's been in my corner since day one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've always sit there and talked. I mean, from when I was amateur, he was like, man, you can be at the top of this game. Like, I really know you. I could see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's always had my back and always kept me in line. You know what I mean?
That's good.
And then the other coaches that I've had, I've picked something apart from them, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and I just I'm such a nerd to the game. I try to just learn it from everybody and learn from everything, man.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of hard to say who exactly is guiding me. I don't want to say I'm the one that's guiding myself, but I just learn from everybody.
You kind of just take.
Just take into and just kind of, form my foundation with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you train at...
At War Training Center, yeah.
War Training Center. Yeah. Where's that located?
That's in Tomball.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, not too far off in Tomball. Man, I can't think of it.
So if you was to take 290 down to like, it's off of like it's closer to like Spring Cypress. It's off Spring Cypress, like 249 around that area. Yeah. So it's kind of in that area right there. So.
Okay.
It's 45 minutes from my house. I still live on the southwest side.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, do you still live in the southwest?
Yep. Yeah.
So how's your schedule like since you got to make that 45-minute drive?
So, besides, if I'm working, so I have a pretty intense schedule. You know what I mean? But this camp, I had to like kind of cancel it out and kind of stick to, because I was doing a lot.
Yeah.
From my house to the gym is 45 minutes. From my house to the job is 45 minutes, but they're going the opposite directions. Oh. So like the first 4 weeks of my camp, I was working 5 days a week. So I would wake up in the morning. So I have 2 kids. So and they're 2 and 10 months now. But
congrats, man.
Thank you. So when my wife wakes up before work at 7 in the morning, my kids wake up. I usually have to go to the gym for 10. Yeah. So when they're up, I have to get up as well. So I'm up with the kids. From then babysitter, mother-in-law comes over, takes the kids. I'm off to the gym. So I'm off to the gym from 10 to 12. 10 to 12, I would be at the gym 45 minutes out. So I'll make it home by at least 1:30 or at least 1. Yeah, 1 give or take. And then I'll have to be to work for 3. So I have to leave my house by at least 2.
Yeah.
To get to work on time.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I'll work 3 to 11:30. Get home by 12:30.
Yep.
And that
start over.
Start all over, man.
What time do your kids wake up?
About 7 in the morning.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Yeah. And then if I'm lucky, you know, sometimes they'll try to wake up in the middle of the night. Sometimes they don't. But
yeah.
Yep, that's just what it was. So that for 4 weeks, that was my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked at my wife. I was like, something got to give, because this is really getting. I will get burnt out by the end of the week.
Yeah.
You know. So, but luckily my job is kind of a open schedule type of thing,
mm-hmm.
or you know, you can work a certain amount of hours and stuff. So I kind of started. I was like, told my wife, well, let's cut down this work schedule. Yeah. Let's focus on this fight. You know,
pick it up again after maybe.
And I got married through the camp too.
Yeah.
So this camp just was a pretty.
That's intense.
Yeah.
That's intense, man. But you got to do what you got to do to make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
I actually I have a house off of 249 in like Jones.
Okay. Yeah. Right? So not far. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's super close by. Yeah, man. So I thought I saw it before. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Because there's like another gym across the street from my house too.
Mm-hmm.
But 45 minutes out, man, that's intense. So you only train once a day, or?
Yeah. So pretty much what I'll do if I have a day off, or when I do have a day off, I'll train in the morning, and then at night I would either do strength and conditioning, or I'll run. If not, I'll train once a day. You know what I mean? But like when I changed my schedule, I wasn't working, I'll end up training about 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then during the day, I'll spend it with my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that was my main thing doing this camp too, was just like being in the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I put in the work, being confident to know I think that really was a big problem in the beginning of my career.
Mm-hmm.
I would have so much going on.
Yeah.
Especially during fight camps. I'll be trying to work, this and that. I'll have so many things going.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will go into the fight. And I'll still train. Don't get me wrong, I'll still train. But I'll still go into the fight feeling like, did I do enough?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, in this camp, I just made that change. I let go. And I was like, let me just
trust the process.
Just trust the process, man.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's risky.
It was risky.
But rewarding.
It was rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say it was too risky.
No?
I just knew I just did enough. You know what I mean? I would go into the gym, I'll train as hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll come home and I'll be with my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll just be able to relax.
Yeah.
And wake up in the morning and do the same thing.
Do you have man, what do you have a hard time making weight at all?
Nah.
Right? You fight your walking weight pretty much, huh?
No, I weigh about I walk around, I'll trade that 160 line, but I'll be like 159, 58.
Yeah.
I used to fight at 135 a long time ago. Yeah. And and then once I got to a certain age, like 25 or something like that, it would I would literally be walking around like this, 158, and then I had to cut to 35. Yeah. And I was like, well, you know what? It's not fun to do that. Yeah. I ain't doing that no more. And so I when I moved to 45, it was a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll like usually when I'm full-fledged training and everything, it's hard for me to keep the weight on.
Yeah.
The weight will be coming off, so I'll be trying to keep weight on as training prep goes.
Some good genes, man.
Yeah.
Some good genes.
I'm burning all the time, man. So so I'll keep the weight. Then I'll hold on to some weight till I have to cut it.
Yeah.
And then.
So I mean, I guess just kind of keeping your carbs. I mean, you're probably not even worried about carbs then.
Nah, I just eat. I mean, I just eat all the right things, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? I cut out drinking and I'll just eat right, and I'll just, that's about it. I know my body. You know what I mean? It's the only thing that's hard about my body is that since I'm so lean, it's like my body doesn't really hold on to a lot of water. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So sometimes when I get into the sauna and it's time to sweat, it's like I'll be in there for 15, 20 minutes. I'll be like, yeah, I'm sweating. I'll be like, yeah, I think I cut like 3 or 4 pounds. And it'll be like a pound. I'll be like, what the heck? You know what I mean? But yeah, man.
That's cool, man. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you're doing good.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you, man. That's awesome. It's good to see somebody from then. Now.
It's always from good. Where we came from.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? To see where we at now, it's just like complete. Like
I wouldn't even. I couldn't even like imagine it. And I know a lot of people that they're still there. They're doing good, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are doing good. But I've seen some bad too.
Yeah. Same. But that's everybody's kind of journey in their process. You know what I mean? So
that's true. It's not a race.
Yeah, it's not.
Right. So
one thing about you though, man, you always had something like going for you. You know what I mean? It was like, man, you always brought a light to people because of your personality, man.
Appreciate it, man. Just commitment, keep going. Persistence, determination.
Yeah, exactly. It be those things. But like I always tell people, you have your own journey. You really do have your own journey. But it be those words that really get you going. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like it sounds cliche, but it actually really is that type of thing.
True. No, it's true. Absolutely. I don't like to say those things in reality. Right? But who motivated me and who I looked at, and I was like, he was able to leave his corporate job and kind of just do other things was Henry Pineda.
Yeah.
And for a while, just watching him kind of just like going against the whole norm of like working a corporate job, doing the 9-to-5 thing. He was able to do what he does and, put his kids through college, everything. And I really liked it. I was like, okay, it's definitely possible. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, I tried everything. I love fighting too, right?
Right.
But I felt that I also liked making money in different ways, like without having to trade my time for it, right? So from then it was just always just trying to figure it out. Got into real estate. I loved doing what I did. I was already kind of doing marketing, and man, just try to systemize the whole entire process so then I can take advantage of it and then help other people do the same thing, just replicate the same thing. That's what we're doing here, man. So but I appreciate that. And the podcast, man, it's just another thing that I like to do. I like to talk to people, especially you. I like to talk to people that are in the same mindset. They're trying. One thing that I like, about kind of this mindset is that you don't hear any type of like weakness and excuses. And there's a lot of that. Right? I have friends that are just like having another bad day. Let's go get a drink. It's like, bro, the weather's awesome. Like, So yeah, man, that's what it is. So where do you go from here? What's next for you?
I mean, I just continue to keep going, man. I mean, I just know where I want to go. I mean, like you said, like one thing what you just said, stood out to me that it's the same thing for me. It's like my time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I'll trade my time for money any day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to set up myself to where it's like everything I do is required on me. It's like, and I mean, clocking in from work and stuff like that. I know I have to do it, but at the same time, I'm setting up myself to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's always, fighting is a big thing, a part of my life, you know what I mean? And I enjoy doing it, but I'm also looking at other things as well to keep myself, going, because I can't fight forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I always want to set up myself, and that's what I always tell my wife, is like, okay, we got to think of the next thing to keep this going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because one day I would love to get her to, I would love for her to quit her job.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And, you know, she was like, how are we going to do it? Are you going to just do it with fighting? I was like, no, we don't have to. There's so much other things you can do to set up our life to where we're good. You know what I mean? Fighting is just one source
Another
of
avenue.
you know what I mean, revenue. You know, so I mean, of course, I am putting my body on the line, but I'm also, you know, I'm trying to use my brain as well. You know what I mean, to where I can, if I don't fight, you know, I can sit back and I look at my bank account and you know, watching other things grow at the same time.
True.
So,
yeah, and you know, that brings revenue, that brings more attention to you. It's a spectator sport, so more opportunities open up for you. And yeah, man, and especially right now in Houston for MMA is like, I think the Houston MMA scene has been booming for a while now. But I feel that like there's more attention coming to Houston. On like fighters that are like making it from here, right? And you've seen that, and you can see them going from, you know, like the whole, you know, having a job, doing this, being a fireman, you know, doing all that stuff, and then getting to, you know, fighting more, you know, bigger fights. From there, you know, you make the right investments or continue fighting, get bigger fights. So that's good, man. Do you have like a management company that does sets you up for the fights, or is just you?
No, so you know, I fight under Fury. And I've been knowing Eric Garcia for years now, and I've been fighting under him since I was an amateur. So, you know, he's always been a fan of me, man. He's always looking out for me. And so whenever it's time to fight, he always asks me. So I kind of just been under his banner for so long. So whenever it's time for him to ask for fights, you know, he'll ask our coaches or ask me who want to fight, you know. So me and my coaches are kind of like our own management team, you know. And, you know, when more and more eyes come, I'm sure management companies will reach out, you know, and whenever they do, we'll see what they offer, and then we'll go from there. That's you know, but other than that, we're kind of like our own management, you know, and that's pretty much for all fighters. You know what I mean? Till you have the right push, you know what I mean? Or you just have to push yourself.
With the scene here too, I mean, you can kind of go independent too with the connections that I see that are being built with, you know, the UFC or other promotions and the smaller promotions here, you know, so I feel like there's still a lot of opportunity there too, even without a match.
Right. You just have to be in the right situation to have the right eyes looking at you. And that's for Fury Promotions right now is, I mean, I can say that's probably the biggest gateway to get to the UFC, to get the eyes from the UFC, man. I mean, what they're doing, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know who else. I mean, besides LFA, LFA is a good promotion as well, but I mean,
I don't even know what happened after Mick Maynard sold it.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They were up there, you know. They have a lot of good guys, but then what's the things Fury's doing right now, especially right after COVID, I mean, it seemed like they just turned it up to a whole nother notch by getting like UFC Fight Pass and you know, I was talking to Eric. He was like, well, then I know the next show in Colorado, they have Dana, you know, and Dana's been doing his show with them for so long.
Saw that.
So, I mean, these UFC matchmakers are coming to the shows just to watch the shows and seeing this Houston talent. That's and he's getting talent all over now. So,
major props to Eric, man. I have seen pretty much. So, I had the opportunity to fight Eric for a Legacy Amateur Series. I did.
Wow.
And so this was back when Tony from Silverback, I was at Silverback. So my opponent
his son just fought, actually.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did on the same night. Scotty. So second amateur fight, my opponent didn't show up, and then I was like kind of bummed out. I was like, you know, I worked this hard, whatever, to, you know, man, I don't know if I was working hard, honestly, but I was just ready to go, right? I was ready to go. I was hyped up. I was like, all right, this is it.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. He didn't show up, and I already knew 100%, man, that I had this guy beat. I even sent him a Facebook message. I was like, hey, man, get your blood work done, bro. Like, it's going down. And he made some excuse, and it just. That fell off. Maybe I shouldn't have contacted him, but it probably got him scared or something. I have no idea. He backed down, and then Eric's opponent also backed down. Mm-hmm. So then they were like, "Hey, do we have anybody else that can fight?" I already went. I already started eating, bad. I was like not about it, and plus Eric was like, I don't know. Like 7 and something. And so very talented guy too. Not only as a promoter, but also as an athlete too.
I think he has a pretty decent pro record as well too.
So respect to him. Mm-hmm. I wasn't gonna take it right at the time. I was 0-1 amateur, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna be a stepping stone. Mm-hmm. He ended up fighting Colton England that night. The following day.
Okay,
And he won that fight too.
Yeah, he was decent, man.
He's good.
He's decent. Yeah,
he's good. But not just kidding.
That's funny. So how'd you feel like, going and being an amateur? Like, how did you feel? Like, what was some things that you felt like you dealt with that?
Man. So at first I messed up. I did not go in it with the right mindset. Mm-hmm. I was just, very confident in like what I can do. Yeah. But I didn't diet right. So when I did lose the weight, I was dead. I was tired before the fight even started.
Yeah.
We were actually warming up in the back, and I was like, all right, I can't keep warming up. That's it, I'm done. Yeah. And his coaches already knew it too. And I was like, they already know it. So then I messed up a second time because when they called my name, I ran around the cage, and I was like, I'm going to psych this guy out so he thinks that I'm, that I have energy. Yeah. Man, I shouldn't have ran around the cage because I was like, this is the last bit of energy that I had, and I wasn't thinking about it. But it was first round was okay. Second round was really boring. I couldn't get up off the canvas. I was just like, screw it. Yeah. Hopefully he'll come down. I'll use my jiu-jitsu. He was strictly just kickboxing, and man, third round I couldn't pick him up and slam him. He had a guillotine, standing guillotine. Yeah. And, man, I was just like, you know what? You got this. But I'll come back stronger, right? Yeah. So second time, that's when I came energized. That's why I really wanted to go in with that other guy. Yeah. But coming in, man, it was one of those things that you mentioned earlier was that you're like, first day, you're like, I'm here because I don't want to just train. I want to fight, right? So when I went into Macaco's, I was like, hey, I already went ahead and signed myself up for a fight. Mm-hmm. Oh, train me, right? So we trained. Everything was good, and then after that, after I got into the cage, and everything happened. I think I was like just more defeated, and I was just like, you know what? I don't even need to be doing this, right? And amateurs don't get paid either, so I was like. I don't even know if I really want to do this. But after the second time when I made weight, I was just like, I don't think I want to do this like as a career. Yeah. Right. So that's when I knew that switch was off. And I was like, I'm not going to pretend or anything. I'm just going to continue training. I want to get my black belt before I die. Yeah. And that I can't even keep up with that. I have a gym membership that I've been paying for like almost, I don't know how long, but I've had gym memberships where I pay years. And I just don't go, but I'm like, I keep paying it because I'm like, I'm going to eventually go back, right? Yeah. Don't want to have that. But no, I think it was like 4 months ago, I signed up for a gym. Down the street here. I even talked to everybody else in here to signing up with me. And the first day that I go, I'm like, I got my new gi, we're going back, we're doing this, I'm about to lose this weight, and I get in a car accident. That first day I was like, that's odd. some lady hits me. It's like just fender bender, just bam.
Yeah.
Like right turning into the corner. I was like, okay, well.
Maybe this is a sign.
Maybe this is a sign, but maybe not. You know, I whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it led to me not going for like this past 3 months. I haven't gone.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Gotta get you back in there, man. I mean, one thing I tell people, jiu-jitsu is life, man. So it's like you just doing it. You know what I mean? Continue to do it. It's like it's hard for me right now with. You know, because I'm such in fight mode all the time. It's like I'm going to the gym, I'm getting better for fights and stuff. Yeah. But I know for sure when I'm done, it's like I'm just going to keep the gi on. Like, that's what I know for sure. Like, that is always going to keep me going. You know, some people, like, feel like, oh, they have to keep working to feel younger and stuff like that. Yeah. Just doing jiu-jitsu, man, that right there.
It does it.
Yeah, man. I watch people, man, all shapes and sizes, ages, doing it. There's a guy at a gym, man. He has a prosthetic leg, and he's still training, and he loves to do it. He's there every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's like
he has an advantage in that case for this time because you know you try to get him in the ankle.
Yeah. Nah, that bitch will come right off. But still, just seeing that stuff, man, and you like, man, you can do this. Like, for sure. Like, you don't have to worry about getting knocked out or anything. Maybe put to sleep, but you know.
You're taking that risk, though.
Yeah, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. You got to tap. So.
Yeah.
But no, man, I understand that, man. Yeah. You know, man, like I faced a lot of adversity throughout my career. And I remember I started my amateur career 0-2.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Mad respect.
Yeah, man. So I remember my first amateur fight. I fought a guy, this kid had all kind of hype. And I had a little hype, you know, behind me. A lot of people knew me just from training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like, I remember I was, like, the first fight, walked in. They was, like, as soon as I walked in, they were like, hey, get your gloves, get wrapped up. It's time to go. And I was just like, what? Like, I'm new to this, you know what I mean? And they gave me, like, these super big gloves that were, like, freshly brand new, so they were stiff.
Yeah.
Like, it was just all off. And I fought this guy. We went all 3 rounds, man, and I knew he was scared of me. He was scared, you know what I mean? But he just did what he did to survive, which was like he just wrestled me. He was a jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Jacob, man. He's still a good guy. He like shot me out on Facebook the other day.
Jacob?
Jacob Alphen, I think.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He still fights?
No, that you know what? That was his only fight. So like for him, it doesn't matter how far I go. He's like, you know what? I beat Shaquem in the amateurs. I was like, man, I need you to come back, man. No, but So we went through that fight, and I ended up losing. And you know, everybody. The one thing about when you lose is like, I'm disappointed, and I see everybody else around me at this point. That stuff kind of hurts, you know what I mean? And then I remember seeing the kid, he was throwing up. So, and I was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
He was throwing up, and I was like, really?
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my second fight comes around, and I fought, who would I fight? Preston. His name is Preston Anderson, I think. That's his last name. Super cool guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was 1-1 at the time, and you know, I was 0-1. So I remember that fight at the back, I was doing wind sprints. I remember seeing like Daniel Cormier doing it. And I was like, you know what, I'm about to do that. So I started doing wind sprints in the back, like getting super hyped up. Got into the fight, literally first minute, adrenaline dump.
Oh, yeah.
I was gagging, I was tired. But like the fight was still entertaining. It's still on YouTube to this day. You can go watch it. But it was an entertaining fight. We was going back and forth with each other. And I caught him in a couple submissions, but he just broke out of it. The dude was tough. And
can you pull up that fight right there? Put it on the TV.
Yeah. But it's on YouTube. Yeah. So, man, we was going back and forth with each other, and I'll never forget his coach. That's how I knew. I was like, man, his coach, Kirk, was like, I mean, everything he said to him, he was doing in the fight. And I was like, man, I felt like I was fighting both of them at the same time. You know what I mean? It was
Who were you training under there on that?
I was still under a Gold Team. I was under Makako, but I had my guy Jeremy Mahon, who's like he's literally been in my corner for pretty much all my fights. Who was that? I think it's Preston Anderson. Yeah, has some like short blue shorts on. But yeah, so yeah, we was going back and forth, man, and then it got to the third round. I think he ended up putting me in a triangle. He put me in a triangle, and I tried to I was trying to exit out, but I was so tired. I could have easily got out, but I was just like out of there. And I think he ended up rolling me over transition to an arm bar.
Yeah.
And that's what got you. Yeah. After that, I went on a 3-fight winning streak, man.
What?
Yeah, but something just changed in me, man.
Yeah.
And shout out to my other coach, Lucas Pimenta, man. So he had a big part of he had a big part of my career, man. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So after that, you lost twice. You came back 3 fights, win. What was that mindset? What clicked in those 3 fights that were different from the past 2?
It was really nothing really changed with my training. We just I kind of formulated to understand the game. Like I said, the experience thing. You know what I mean? I just understood what I needed to work on. You know what I mean? And like what needed to be changed. And another thing was just kind of how I approached the game. I didn't put so much pressure on myself. I just kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed training. I was just training every day. It wasn't like, man, I'm ready to go back in the cage. I'm ready to go do it again. I was just training every day, be there every day, competing hard, training hard every day. Yeah. You know, and then Lucas had the way he broke down the game, because he was a fighter as well. So he kind of set up the trainings for fight simulation training. But I still was just training every day. Me and him, we used to just train jiu-jitsu all day. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it like that. And then when they asked me, hey, you want to fight? Yeah, come on, let's fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? I fought somebody, finished him in the first round.
Nice.
Then fought again. How did that fight go? I think I finished him again.
Sorry about that distraction, by the way.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But yeah, man. So I just started to just took pressure on myself, and I just started to just enjoy training for what it is. You know what I mean? Just wanted to get better, and that's how I just got better, and it just started to show in the cage.
So once you're there, three fights in, so you're 3-2. You were like, I'm gonna go pro, or is this something that came much later on?
Man, that's a funny story. I always tell people this story, but this first time I'm actually telling it. So, I'll just say the whole story. I was actually, so Eric had hit me up. I had just fought for Eric. What happened? Yeah, I had just fought for Eric, and he had hit me up and said, hey, we want to fight. I think it was Gustavo Gomez. He asked me if I wanted to fight for their belt, 35 belt. I was like, yeah, cool.
Your first fight was a
No. This was when I was 3-2, and then like I was looking to go fight for an amateur fight. So I ended up, Eric Garcia asked me to fight in March. So this was around December. So I said okay to that fight. I think it was either February or March or something like that. Legacy, I was supposed to fight for Legacy, and they couldn't find an opponent. I remember I was cutting weight, and then they were like, hey, just continue to cut weight. We're going to find an opponent for you. It was like the week of the fight. Yeah. Like, all right, cool. Cut weight. It was like, we couldn't find a fight. So I was like, all right, fine. You know, this was like December, a little bit after Christmas. So there was no fight. You know what I mean? The only fight I had scheduled was that March title fight. Yeah. So I was like, man, I'm going to enjoy New Year's and stuff like that. Party. I went partying. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just doing normal things with a little 21-year-old do. I was like 23 at the time.
How old are you now?
I'm 30.
You're 30?
Yeah. So that's how long I've been fighting. So man, and it was like probably one of the craziest New Year's. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then my kickboxing coach at the time, he he was training to fight for Legacy. So at the time, the coaches at the gym was Cyborg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everybody knows Cyborg. But it was Cyborg and his brother Cyborginho were the two main coaches at the gym. Cyborginho was supposed to fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I was just kind of like, I was still there training, but I was still just doing my own thing outside the gym.
Yeah.
So I remember, I forgot who fought. I think it was like a McGregor fight. It was at the bar by the house. And, I'm with my girl. We eating wings, drinking and stuff like that. My coach was there too. And he was like, yo, he was like, man, I don't think I'm not going to fight.
What?
Right? Yeah. So he was like, I'm not going to fight.
Yeah.
But since we're fighting at 35, how about you fight?
Yeah.
And I was like, literally order wings coming, you know what I mean? And and the fight was, literally that was last minute. So that was literally right after New Year's. So the fight was like January 15th or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were like, man, don't worry, you've been training. I was like, all right, cool. I guess, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, I just wasn't, and it wasn't that I was out of shape. I just wasn't as prepared. And I fought Delani Perry. Shout out to Delani. He's a cool dude, you know what I mean? But like, everybody knows Delani. He's like, he brash, you know what I mean? He walks around with a lot of confidence, you know what I mean? And I knew I could have beat him, but I just think there was just too much going on. And like I said, it was from my first pro. And I always told my wife, I was like, man, first pro, I'm like, whenever I turn pro, I'm like doing everything right.
Yeah.
And literally, I didn't do nothing right. You know what I mean? Besides just going in, stepping in.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't as prepared mentally the way I wanted to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so went through that. I lost. He armbarred me.
Delani from Paradigm?
Yeah. So he armbarred me. I armbarred Losley. So, that one kind of hit. And then then I ended up fighting again. I won that fight. But no, that first pro was kind of like put me in perspective. Like, this is real, I was like,
hold on very fast. Let me just double make sure that this is okay. What's like the minute to you think you can watch?
I think this one is. Oh yeah, this is like the second half of the fight, so I think this is like the last 2 rounds.
That's gonna be bad. But people can look it up so we don't get banned here after 15 seconds. So it's SCC 7- Preston Anderson versus Shaquem Richardson.
Yeah.
All right.
It looked like I was good, but I was literally dying in that fight. I will never forget that.
You look a lot smaller there.
Yeah, that's when I fought at 35, man. I was still a little baby in that fight.
Yeah. And we're back, all right.
Hey.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you good.
Technical difficulties. Just wanted to make sure that, we capture all audio at least.
There you go. Yeah.
Where did we leave off before we cut out to your first amateur fight? Was that the second one? Oh, you were
that
Delani.
Was the first pro. Yeah, that was
first pro fight. So that's your first pro fight. Second pro fight, you come back, and you're fighting
Bobby Bradshaw.
Bobby Bradshaw, local person.
Yeah, he was local. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, first round quick, or was that?
Yeah, that was a first round finish. That was a first round finish, and then literally after that, I started to fight the Killers.
Yeah.
The Killers that was known from the amateurs.
Yeah.
And they're still killing it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Me and Manny. My third. No, who did I fight? My third fight. No, I think I fought Jake Heffernan.
Jake Heffernan.
Third.
Don't know Jake Heffernan.
Yeah.
But you're saying that's Jake Heffernan and then the Killers, or was Jake?
No. After Bobby.
Yeah.
That's when I started to fight like just straight killers, like back to back.
Nice.
Back.
So you fought Manny? Is that your fourth?
I fought
time?
Manny Lazoya.
Yeah. He just fought too.
Yeah, he just fought with me. So, yeah. So after that, so I fought Jake Heffernan, and that kid, like, his name is The Grinder.
Yeah.
And he literally was like that, man. He's tough, and we actually train together. We go back and forth sparring. He helped me out for this camp as well.
Yeah.
And when he first came in the gym, because he would come to the gym, we just kept missing each other.
Yeah.
So when we finally trained, I always wondered. I was like, is his pressure really as, like, does he really have that pressure the way I felt in that fight? And it's the same pressure. And I was like, man, this kid's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wrestling background, kind of.
Yeah, wrestling and jiu-jitsu background. Yeah. So, I fought them. I fought him, and I lost. Ended up losing to a decision. And then I fought Manny Lazoya right after that.
Mm.
And that kid's a tank.
Yeah.
Man, if you see him,
he
looks,
He's
and
super
feels like that.
Yeah.
And we went a 3-round back and forth fight.
Wow.
But he was just straight. Like, I would hit him, and he would still just walk me down.
Forward.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Then, so I ended up losing 2 back-to-back.
Pro.
And as a pro. So I was 1-3. Most times, most people will quit.
Yeah.
With me. You know what I mean? So if you notice 0-2 as an amateur, 1-3 as a pro.
Yeah.
But, I just had to keep grinding.
Yeah.
Because I just knew what I can bring to the table. You know what I mean? I just always believe I could compete with the best of the best. So
are you gonna do any? So you're in jiu-jitsu, so you're trying to rank up, I'm guessing,
mm-hmm.
and then trying to teach jiu-jitsu. You think it's something that you're gonna get into after a while? Usually, people take that course. I mean, well, they go in that route where they end up coaching
mm-hmm.
after a while.
I don't know, man. I mean, I love the game so much, and I love jiu-jitsu, and I love training, but I also, like, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do it, like, as if I'm going to be a trainer or a teacher, or or just a fight coach, or you know what I mean. But I love watching the young
mm-hmm.
people come up. You know what I mean. I love giving knowledge to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Because when they come ask me, and they come, and I'll just talk to them, and I'll see little things. I know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
I just love to give out information, just to let them know, like, you all right. Just keep going.
It's no secrets. Just
mm-hmm.
keep working hard.
Yeah. So I haven't decided just yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right now, I'm, I don't know. I'm just in a weird space.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird space because I know right now I'm so head forward in my career and what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people always say too, it's a different balance being a teacher and a fighter at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like one thing gotta it has to offset.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of people would probably ask, what would have happened if you didn't win?
This fight?
Yeah.
Phew. I don't think I would have quit.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have quit, but I just knew I couldn't lose that fight.
Yeah.
Because the situation I was in, like, just, I don't know how to explain it. I just knew this fight was either going to make or break me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was going to be labeled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a certain type of fighter.
I mean, the label that you got now, it's to be the first ever.
Exactly.
Right. So what are they planning to do with that belt? Because you got your belts per weight. Now they have this TMF belt. I know that there's a similar one in UFC. Are they gonna are you the champion for this?
One and only.
So you don't have to defend it again.
I don't have to defend it.
Oh wow.
So that was just the thing. Like, so Eric literally was like, he's like, man, you just went on a streak of fights where you just was going through wars.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not planning for it to go to wars, but they just happen to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he was like, man, I want you to fight for this belt.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, all right, cool. He actually came to me like during COVID.
Yeah.
He was like, what's up, man? You want to fight for this belt? I was like, yeah, I'll fight for it.
Yeah.
But he just couldn't find me an opponent. So then I had to fight with Gabe, the first fight with Gabe.
Okay.
And we went back and forth. And then he asked me again. I took some time off.
Yeah.
And then he came and asked me, would you want to do a rematch for the belt?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, let's go. Surprisingly, man, he stuck to his word. He told me that he wanted me to fight for the belt, and that was back in 2020. And he just held it. He never set up a new fight or anything.
Yeah.
So he made sure he wanted me to fight for that belt.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right.
So you're fighting at 145.
Yeah.
So are you trying to be the champion at 145?
Yeah.
Who's the champion?
I mean, it doesn't. To me, honestly, like.
It doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter, man. Because I already know it's whoever I fight, you know, they're going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's like a challenge for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good attitude.
The belt is cool. It's good recognition. It brings eyes to me.
Yeah.
But it's the challenge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That really drives me.
Okay.
To know, like, sometimes I know there's a lot of fighters that, you know, I ain't gonna say no names, but, you know, some people kind of like, they know where they're trying to go. And don't get me wrong, I understand everyone wants to go to UFC. They want to go to the big shows. So they kind of choose their fights. Right. You know what I mean?
Those make for boring fights.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And I think that's what, like, I don't know if boxing's ruined, but I feel that that's kind of what led to, like, I know a lot of people talk mess about, like, Don King and all these promoters that, like, took a lot of money and stuff. But the best fighters are fighting the best fighters, right? Like, it wasn't like, you know, I'm my own promotion and I'm going to make sure that I'm promoting myself against a weaker opponent. So I think that's the only thing that sets aside that difference. And the fact that you have that drive to want to challenge yourself, and if it's not challenging, I'm sure, you know, what's the point? Right? If you're trying to be the best.
Right, and I think that's my main thing. I think that's the whole point of being a prize fighter. You have to realize, like, if you're an exciting fighter and people want to watch you, you have to be, you know what I mean. You have to choose the right fights. And I think I'm kind of at that point too. With, I know on the regional level, but for sure, if somebody see me they're gonna be like, man, I want to see him fight. Because they know, like, I'm not trying to make it boring or anything.
Right.
I'm going out there to, you know what I mean, put some hands on somebody. So
what do you think it's, to you personally, what do you think is your strong suit, martial arts wise?
I guess striking. Yeah, striking. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I look at it on so many different levels now that I can break it down like a chessboard. You know what I mean? So
striking, is there like Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing, or just a kind of a mix?
It's a mix. Yeah. You know what I mean? I could be heavy-handed like with my boxing. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I throw knees and elbows just as good as like a Thai fighter. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Kickboxing as well. So just all around stand-up. MMA that's what makes it so cool about the game. You can kind of just mix these things. Mm-hmm. But don't get me wrong, if I was to go in a boxing gym right now, and I've had before, and I'd be like, yeah, you know, I got some good boxing. Nah. You know what I mean? Right. If I just, but I can mesh them all together. But if I was to single-handedly just try to do one thing, you know what I mean? Don't get me, if I put some time in it, you know what I mean, just doing it, maybe. But there's some times where I was just like, man, all right, I'm about to go with these boxers. Yeah. Oh, man.
What boxing gym do you visit?
It was, at the time, it was Texas Striking Academy. Shout out to Joel. Shout out to Josh Altum. Yeah, those are my guys, man. They were, I went out to them. They're out in Texas City. And I went training at their gym. Yeah. And they still invite me out. I need to go out there. And I remember I went, Joel set me up with one of his guys. I went with two boxers at the time. Yeah. It was 2 different days, but the first time I remember going to box a dude, and this guy kind of had a big mouth and stuff like that. We was going at it, was going pretty good, but he like timed me after a while, like timed a shot, and he would just do like he was doing a rope-a-dope type thing on me. So I'm thinking I had him, man. He cracked me so hard with a right hand. When I said I know I did like the dance where I had my legs went weak under me, I was like, after the round was over, there was like, you ready to go again? I was like, nah, let me sit down real quick. Yeah, man. Shout out to boxers, man.
Hey, that's good experience right there.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's trying to start right now, right? I don't know anything.
Right.
What should I do to get started?
Sign up to a gym.
Right. But
yeah, sign up to a gym, man. It's nothing wrong with having the mentality, you want to fight, but just go into the gym, take your time. I remember a rule when Macaco was like, nobody's not going to fight unless they're trained. Well, at least they have their blue belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to build a certain foundation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Try to fill the holes, the gaps, figure yourself out.
Yeah.
Into the gym, and then always look to test yourself. You know what I mean? Once you go through you start out with the beginners and you be like, I want to go test myself with the intermediate guys. I want to test myself with the big, the strong guys.
Yeah.
Then you start building these confidence. You start building this foundation with yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people are good enough to be like, I trained for 6 months. I'm going to go fight. You know what I mean? But if I had students, I wouldn't allow that to happen. I mean, but that's just how that is.
That's I didn't have, I had those 6 months in already.
Yeah.
I was training since I was like 17. I started off at Elite.
Okay. Yeah.
Like a Westheimer.
Off Westheimer, yeah.
Yeah. I remember, so I was supposed to fight for them, and I didn't come to training once, and I forgot the coach's name, something Williams. It's the head coach there, or the owner, I don't know. But he just beat the shit out of me, right? And I was like, oh, shit. All right, so you're going to represent this gym. You gotta do good. But I mean, it wasn't like he beat the shit out of me. We put the gloves on and we went at it, and he just kind of, he's like, man, I don't think you're ready. Let me show you that you're not ready. It's like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, man, I think I just went to a couple other gyms, Sugarland, MMA.
Yeah.
Met with them, just to get experience, and then moved around until I got to Macaco's.
Mm-hmm.
Told Macaco, hey, it's time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think you should do that way. I think you're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. This sport is it has so much ups and downs. I watched a lot of people, start, and then they kind of fell off. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But, if you're serious about it, you want to stick with it, just got to be ready for the ups and downs. And that's for anything in life, you know what I'm saying? So, it is hard to know, like, man, I went out and I just lost, or I got my ass beat in front of my family, friends.
Yeah.
Man, that shit's hard. We put a lot in training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It does. It's literally at this point where it's like when you put your all in something and then you lose.
Yeah.
You literally feel like nothing. Like,
and you got so much family supporting you and looking at you too. I see your Facebook posts all day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good support group too, by the way.
Yeah.
But I can totally understand that. But yeah, like you said, it's about commitment.
Yeah.
So I used to be in a swim team. I lost one race. I was like, I was done.
I
was like, I'm not doing this.
You ain't doing it.
Yeah, I'm done. That's how it was, man. I think even with like skateboarding, I still have a skateboard. I still try every now and then. But even with that, man, I was like,
I used to skate too, man. I used to skate, and then I even to this day, I still love skating. I still watch like videos and stuff. But I guess I'm just so determined to where it's like, I felt like I could have just, if I would have stuck with it.
Yeah.
I would have been.
Yeah,
I would have. I guess that's just a mentality thing I had.
Mentality, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I remember when I stopped, and I was just like, it always kind of like burned me. You know what I mean? But
my dad was an asshole at sometimes with the skateboarding. He was like, man, if I was like skating for like 3 years. Yeah. And I was barely landing like varial kickflips. Right? Which that's the best that I ever did. Yeah. Off a 3-step. Yeah. But nice. But he was like, man, I would be jumping over house already, man. You're wasting your time.
Yeah. Hey, my brother. Oh my God, bro. My brother is the same exact way. That's why we call. I tell him, man, you a hater, man. You just be hating like.
Ezekiel?
No, Akil. Yeah. I remember like, I'll be outside skating all day, and then he'll come up to me and be like, man, what the hell? Jump over the trash can. I was like, nah, I can't do that. What the heck? What you mean? You been doing this all? Like, I'd be like, bruh. Like,
that's funny.
You know what I mean? If you ain't gonna help me jump over this trash can, then why you know?
Why do you have an opinion? You do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Cool. Shakeem, man, if you have don't want to hold you on for too long.
No, you good.
Does anybody want to give a shout out to, where can we find you?
We do all shout outs first. Shout out to my gym, man, my team at Ward Training Center. Jeremy, Millie, Adam, all the young ones coming up, all the people. We also got some people fighting tomorrow. We have Bryce, we have Mia. Bryce is actually he came down from Belize, and he actually has the mayor of Belize flew down to watch him fight.
Wow.
Yeah. So shout out to Bryce.
That's legit.
Yeah, Mia's fighting. We also have Sandy. I think Sandy's fighting for her title. So we have our 3 young guns, and then we have a couple pros. Man, our gym is so stacked. So we have a lot of up and coming guys and girls that's coming up, man. And our girls is we have some killer girls. Yeah. But yeah, my team, man, my family, my wife, all the people that support me, the support system is like through the roof right now, man.
That's awesome.
I got a lot of people that's shouting me out, the people that went to high school with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Telling me they want to come support me and show some love.
That's what's up.
And if y'all want to find me on Instagram, Shakeem Richardson MMA. I'm going to make a Twitter sometime soon. Maybe. I try to cut down on social media with distractions and stuff.
It's so distracting, yeah.
So I don't want to get sucked in, man. But I'm going to make one. But other than that, man, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook as well. Yeah. But Instagram is like the main source where you can find all my good thing about fights and stuff. And
gotcha.
I entertain you with fighting stuff and all that. So.
And to see your next fight, I'm sure that there's nothing out yet, but what would be the best way to, either buy tickets or show support without them having to, contact you directly?
It's through that. So usually if I fight locally or fight at home and I have tickets to be sold, then you can directly contact me. I'll give you all the information, websites or wherever. Sometimes I have tickets in hand so you can come meet me in person if you want. You know what I mean? And we can do that.
And you have shirts.
I do have shirts. So it's crazy, man. This is my first fight where I'm actually doing shirts. And I'll be doing it again because I have a lot of people asking for more shirts. So I did sell out, but I'm gonna make some more for everybody that wants a shirt, man.
Nice, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would love to support you in any way that we can too in the future as well.
Oh, shout out to all my sponsors, man. City Insight, they came through. They showed some love. They, you know what I mean? They sponsored me. So we're going to definitely keep this going. And for sure, we're in more sponsors. If y'all want to come, holler at me. Come on.
Yeah, man. However, whatever we need to do, to show more support, whatever we can do, man. Mm-hmm. I would be honored to be able to do that. Yeah. Well, guys, Shakeem Richardson, TMF Fury champion.
Yeah. Toughest mother. No.
Toughest motherfucker ever, right?
Yeah.
Or toughest motherfucker TMF fighting. What is the F for?
Motherfucker. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Toughest motherfucker out here. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. So do you before I let you go, where do you keep the belt?
I would say it's in a special place, but it's literally sitting on this table in my dining room. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Do you still wear it?
Yeah. No, This is a crazy story. So after my fight, I had it in my back seat. I told everybody to meet us up at a bar downtown. So we went to the bar downtown, and in this area where these bars is by like A1 the brewery, it's always janky. Like you always see like car windows broken into.
Yeah.
So I parked where glass was breaking, but I was like, man, nobody's not gonna break in my truck. But yeah, man, I had the boombox. I won a boombox, and I got the belt. I left the boombox. Well, I gave it to my friend, but I ended up he was leaving early, so I put it back in my truck.
Yeah.
So, but they was like, man, take your belt. I was like, man, I'm not taking my belt in the bar. They was like, man, just take it. So I took my belt.
Yeah.
Come back, I was going home. Truck got broken into.
Boombox is gone?
No.
Okay.
They left the boombox, but they took my empty backpack with and I had all my valuables with me. But they broke, and I was like, that is crazy. I took my belt with me, because that would have been like, imagine if they took the belt, the boombox. I usually keep my fight check in my backpack, but I didn't have my fight check. It was just like, they really didn't. They could have ruined my night, but they couldn't. They didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was the night of, right? Or
that was the night, literally right after the fight.
Yeah.
So
damn, that would be crazy. Wow.
Everything I worked for would have been gone.
You're just on a winning streak right now.
Exactly, man. I'm riding this cloud.
Ride it all the way.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna just keep it up, keep going, man. Keep the hard work going, man. So
that's what's up, man. Yeah. I look forward to continuing seeing your success.
Appreciate it.
Following it.
Yeah.
And I'll come around, man, and you let me know when you're training. I'll just stop in if I can and just get a good sweat on.
Yeah, if you want to get some rolls in, whatever, or if you want to meet up with me, man, and we could do some one-on-one stuff and just keep getting something going. I'm here for it, bro.
Shaquem, man, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, no problem, man.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Cool. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, hell yeah.